Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very beautiful day and a very, very great day ahead. Today, we have to talk about the Notan Empire today. And also, today is very quietly cloudy and very quietly rainy to where I'm exactly living, and very quietly, still raining and still watery and cloudy. But despite that, I'm still continuing. Anyway, today on this episode, we have to talk about the Notan Empire, who are a group of evil knights and also assassins and supervillains who are working on the behalf and who have aligned themselves with the Order of the Five, a group of supervillains that decide the fate of humanity. As I previously said, that decides the fate of humanity and that wants to control all the other worlds and all the other civilization. They were formerly led by two supervillains known as Dog Ren and also the Noten King, formerly led by Dog Ren and also the Noten King many, many centuries ago. Their leadership within the organization was a great deal. They made these Noten Knights assassins. They trained them to become assassins and loyal agents and loyal followers within the cause of the organization and within the society of the Order of the Five, in also drilling them to kill and assassinate any hero or any being that poses a threat to their plans and to their sinister plans for humanity and for the sacred world and for the sacred universe. They've been behind many, many sacred wars and many, many sacred star wars. They were exactly quietly orchestrating wars and manipulating events, and their goals are to exactly using advanced alien technology to exactly create wars and to create problems throughout human world and throughout human history by using battleships or battle cruisers in order to ignite the flames of wars and cause turmoil throughout other worlds and other planets and other clans and other sacred societies within the sacred world and within the Four Nation Hunter worlds and within the other entire sacred world and the entire sacred universe. Within the 20th century, the Notan King family led the Notan Empire through greatness and through sheer force of will. He trained the agents and the following Notan knights to become deadly assassins and to become greatly assassins to fight against the Four Nation Hunters, which they did exactly in doing so. They waged war with the Four Nation Hunters within the 20th century. Their war exactly caused attention to other sinister villains such as Dark Ren and Witch Girl and also Dark Witch Boy, which exactly led them to exactly begin a revelation and a revolution among the Four Nation Hunters into turning them against each other, which it exactly did. In doing so, the Notanite Empire began exactly using swordsmanship and hand-to-hand combat in order to fight against the Four Nation Hunters, which they did within the 20th century. The war between the good sides, between good and evil, ended badly when two sides suffered heavy amounts of losses and they were not eager to exactly recover. They use advanced alien technology, to teleport out. Some were ultimately taken into custody in the 20th century. Others were not ultimately taken into custody. They were able to escape a great deal, and some were able to exactly be taken ultimately into custody and being questioned for their motives. But in doing so, they were psychically linked by their masters, who were exactly able to cut them off and exactly letting them into a coma by with a psychic connection with a coma. They were exactly directly straight into a coma if they were exactly to speak out or to exactly firmly read out the masters or read out the big bad boss or read out the big bad villains or their masters or their bosses of any information on their cause in their own society. But they were cut short when the psychic connection that they had within their brain was exactly directly landing them into a psychic comatose coma, which they exactly landed. Within the 20th century, the Four Nation Hunters apprehended almost about 15 Notan assassin knights, able to question them, able to read their minds, and able to release them from the psychic imprint and from the psychic link that they all shared with their masters and with their big bad bosses. But Dark Reign is a powerful dark supervillain who led the Notan Empire, was able to exactly cut the cord and exactly strictly landing them into a psychic coma before they read out any information about the revolution and also about the uprising, which they almost exactly did in doing so. But the Four Nation Hunters couldn't exactly get any answers or any questions about their motives, about their missions, because they almost landed in a psychic coma and they were quietly in a comatose coma almost for centuries and years. Within the 40th, within the 40,000 years and centuries, The Notenite assassins were trained in professionalism and also trained in swordsmanship and also in hand-to-hand combat by Doc Ren and by the Noten King, who exactly led them through greatness and through sheer force of will. They were able to use their skills and their strategies in order to assassinate any human beings and any member who poses a threat to their mission and also to their cause and also to any deal. They formally clashed with the members of the Intergalactic Coalition and with the Sacred Council of the Four Nation Hunters over the following centuries, able to exactly fight up with them. They were able to exactly fight up with them, and some managed to exactly escape. Others were exactly taken into custody, presumably being questioned and being asked about their motives and about their plans and about their sinister intent for humanity and also their revolutionary plans and their other plans for mankind. Over the following centuries, the Noten Knight Empire began aligning itself with the Order of the Five. They became the leaders of the Order of the Five started leading the Noten Empire, leading it to greatness, and started to trust them and also guiding them. When the Shadow Empire was in shambles and in chaos state with the death of the Lolo Magic, the Order of the Five decided it's best to assassinate some of the Shadow Empire warlords and gather some of the other Shadow Empire warlords to become allies in their conquest and controlling humanity and mankind through any means necessary. Nebula Bringer quietly agreed with this tactic, and she agreed that it's time that they act up with the next phase of the plan, which she exactly informed the Council of the Five, and they were happily to oblige with the next step of the evolution. When the Order of the Five began the order and started ordering half of the Shadow Empire warlords to begin their movements and attacking all the other Shadow Empire warlords, they dispatched the Noten Knights assassins into killing the Shadow Empire warlords who are about to convene on a meeting and to discuss who are about to become the next ruler and the next leader of the Shadow Empire. But their attempts will quietly fall due to the intervention of the Intergalactic Coalition and the Sacred Council and the Sacred Team, who are able to exactly save them and were able to exactly prevent this quick riot from burning into assassination and into a chaos, which would have turned into a chaotic state, which was able to be prevented by doing so. But the Noten Knights were exactly eager to fulfill the assignment, and they were eager to get the job done. No matter how hard and no matter how tough it was, they were eager to get the mission done and also the job done. No matter how hard and no matter how difficult it was, the mission and the contract was exactly still needed to be fulfilled, and it was exactly intended to be fulfilled. When Lady Shadow became the new member of the Order of the Five, she became the new master of the assassins and the new head of the assassins and the new sensei of the assassins and all of the other Noten assassins. Started training them into a compound island far off from the other worlds and far from the civilization in order to exactly train their skills and to enlighten their swordsmanship to exactly enter the swordsmanship training session with Lady Shadow, and she was able to exactly program them all to train and fight with the opponents, able to exactly tackle them with all their forces and adversary within January within the modern century. The Notenites were ordered to kill and assassinate the Four Nation leaders and also to wipe them out, but their attempts were quietly foiled due to the intervention of the Universal Heroes, who became the new covert team by working together in attempting to foil the assassination when Universal Man, who was strictly skilled in hand-to-hand combat, was able to exactly prevent the Noten Assassin Knights from killing and also from assassinating the leaders of the Sacred Nation and the leaders of the Sacred Worlds, which could have ended into a major disaster if the assassination was exactly a multiple of a success. But in doing so, the Noten Knights were quietly determined and they were quietly uneager to exactly report back to their master, known as Lady Shadow. Lady Shadow wasn't quietly devastated with the loss of the assassination and wasn't quietly taken up aback because the plan is going accordingly to plan. She reported back to the Order of the Five and also alerted them that the Universal Heroes have quietly intervened on the assassination attempt and then they were able not to proceed with the plan. Dark Light, who was a member of the Order of the Five, reassured Lady Shadow of her concerns and the members of the Order of the Five that they have a new plan now, that they're going to use a fleet of the Shadow Empire warlords in order to wage war with the other worlds and other civilizations in order to seize control of the other planets and to conquer them through the might of the Shadow Empire. The Noten Assassin Knights will have to step back a little and start turmoil and chaos throughout the other worlds by informing the agents and all the other alien agents to proceed with the plan in order to exactly do so. They began with the plan and they started exactly causing chaos and turmoil with the other worlds and all the other civilization. The Intergalactic Coalition was happily to oblige to step in and to stop the chaos and all the other forces. They clashed with the agents, with the alien agents and all the other sinister agents who were quietly part of the plan in order to cause turmoil across the other planets in the other worlds, which they were able to exactly prevent them. Some of the Notan Knights were able to record the battle and record the battle and record half of what happened, and were able to relay the intel to their masters and inform them that the plan was exactly progressing well as it did. When the Shadow Empire warlord known as Commander Fire, was exactly informed of the misstep, he exactly used the might of his fleet to land a full assault on the other planets and all the other worlds in order to attack and grimly attack them all completely and launch in a full assault to conquer all the other worlds and civilization. But the planets was facing overwhelming resistance due to the intervention of the Intergalactic Coalition, and they were able to exactly save all the worlds and all the planets, decimating half of the fleets, decimating Commander's Fire, half of his fleets, and all half of his invading force. And with his death, his invasion was successfully ended, and it ended with him. But before he was able to end his invasion, before his invasion ended, he informed the Order of the Five and the Order of the Five's associate, known as Golden Girl, who is a dark witch, powerful dark witch, and a very much close associate with the Order of the Five and close associate of the Shadow Empire, and informed them that they've been able to found the Galactic Coalition. And she was very glad she was able to dispatch her magical agent with a crystal ship to destroy the civilization and all the other worlds and all the other planets, which was a successful failure. Reported back to the Order of the Five and told them that the plan is quietly halted due to the intervention of the coalition, were able to block the intention in destroying all the other worlds and all the other civilization. The masters of the Order of the Five and the members of the Order of the Five weren't quietly disappointed with the results. Elderly Granny reassured the members that the plan was in place in order to take care of all of them. But the Notan King stepped in and exactly reassured the members of the Order of the Five that he will take it from here and that he will handle the situation for himself and that he will exactly personally deal with the threat himself. That he'll leave it, that he will have to, that it's better off that he leaves it all to him and that he will deal with the heroes himself. 5 years after their convening, the Notan King ordered half of the Notan Knights assassins in order to start assassinating business members of the entire planet, of planet Earth's business bankers and business owners, in order to exactly cut the cord, in order to strip them out, since they have no business with them and have no attachment to their business selling and their associates. They decided that they have to be fully exterminated and to be fully assassinated. The assassination exactly was a well done job. The Notan Knights assassinations were able to assassinate the leaders and the business bankers, and they were able to report back to their master of the Notan King, which he was quietly happy to be pleased with the results which they were able to get. But in doing so, the members of the Sacred Team were able to pick up on the Notan Knights' activities, and they decided it's best that they exactly intervene before things could exactly take a drastic ending. While the members of the business bankers of the Planet Earth's associates were, some of them were heavily exactly assassinated by the Notan Knights, assassins, and by the other members of the assassination. The other members were quietly ultimately taken into custody by the Sacred Team, but the members of the Sacred Team were able to intervene and prevent a catastrophic assassination before it was able to take a full event. During at that time, the Notan King was briefed of the Sacred Team's movement and also their apparent movement in saving the other business members and all the other members, and reassured the members of the Order of the Five that the plan is quietly going well, not until when Darkran stepped in and reassured him that the situation is supposed to go exactly the way it's supposed to, with the Shadow Empire factories silently being destroyed after one after the other. Their grip on humanity has been loosed, and it's been lost, and it's been quietly lost due to the intervention of the coalition and all the intervention of the Universal Heroes and the covert team of the Sacred Team, and also of the Magic Heroes, which were exactly behind all the other operations by foiling their attempts. But Darkran reassured the members of the Order of the Five that he will take care of the situation personally himself. He allowed Witch Girl to dispatch one of her forces in order to wipe them out and fully exterminate them, leaving no trace of them completely. The fleet of a crystal ship was dispatched in order to destroy the entire planet and the rest of the other civilization, but the intervention of the Universal Heroes and the Intergalactic Coalition mothership and battleships were able to detain the members of the spaceship and were able to question them. But before they can able to speak out or say anything, they were literally silently taken into a comatose coma before they were able to relay the information or to exactly say anything about the information or about their masters or about their master's plan. The Crystal battleship was destroyed. Doc Ren resaw everything from the operation deck and was quietly devastated with the loss, and that he saw that he would take care of the Universal heroes and the rest of the members, and reassured the members of the Order of the Five that he'll deal with. But Shadow Master said that the time for reassurance has quietly passed, that it's time for them not to underestimate these heroes' abilities. They'll wait for a couple of years in order to see what happens next, which they exactly did. The Noten King decided not to wait any longer. He wanted to take matters to his own hands, which he almost personally did if the intervention of Shadow Master didn't exactly tell him to wait patiently for the right time to strike. With the Shadow Empire in chaos and descending in chaos, the Noten Knights assassins starting seizing control of vast territories and vast worlds, and vast territories and vast worlds and vast galaxies, and taking control over those worlds and other liberated worlds and liberated planets, and informing the Noten King that all the worlds and all the civilizations are now right at the end of the control of the Order of the Five, and also of the control of the Noten Empire, and also of its civilization, and also the other worlds. The Noten King Knight was very quietly pleased and very quietly happy with the results and also with the outcome of the battle. Despite the Noten Knights starting a confrontation and turmoil, creating chaos and turmoil throughout the other worlds and other civilizations, in doing this, the Universal heroes were forced to stop the alien agents from distributing alien technology and selling it to the highest bidder and to the highest market, and also to make sure that it doesn't reach into the wrong hands of human civilization, or before it can easily reach in human hand civilization. But the operation was a handful success. They were able to prevent the weapons from reaching the bad guys' hands, or from any dealers or any clients or any of the agents. They were able to stop the agents or any other members. The Intergalactic Coalition were able to stop the wars that the Noten Knights Empire were able to start, and also prevent any wars from being started and from being waged on, able to stop the turmoil in the other worlds from being waging war with each other. But it's going to be a long process, and it's going to be a long battle. And since the war is reaching a very, very climax, the good guys and the bad guys are caught over a boiling steam, and the war is reaching a boiling point. Two sides are still not in even odds, and two sides haven't won, not even for once. Despite this, the Noten Knights are very trained in hand-to-hand combat, in agility, endurance, and also swordsmanship, hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, able to use shurikens, blades, daggers to kill, trained assassins, very, very well trained and skilled trained assassins in hand-to-hand combat, and in any skills. The agilities are very good. They have super speed, able to outmaneuver their opponent and adversaries, being led by two ancient supervillains, the Noten King, who's a high-ranking member of the Order of the Five, and Doc Ren, who's a powerful dark sorcerer and dark magic user who led them through greatness. Both of these villains are high-ranking members of a secret society of the Order of the Five, which is exactly trying to control and decide the fate of humanity and controlling other worlds and other civilizations. Despite this, the Noten Empire is a formidable empire with the leadership of Lady Shadow, who is a formidable foe and a villain and a high-ranking member of the Order of the Five, leading it through greatness and leading it through great externally, through higher heights and through destiny. It is a formidable and stronger and very, 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 very formidable empire, one of the most deadliest assassin knights who are not to be underestimated with all their missions and their assignments. They fully clash with the Universal heroes one-on-one, and with the covert teams of the heroes, and with the Intergalactic Coalition forces, fighting them head-on, as in straight head-on. Well, I all hope you enjoyed this video. I all hope you have a blessed day and a very safe day ahead. It's very windy and very, very cold today. Stay safe and stay happy. Never give up on your dreams, guys, no matter what. Stay positive. Very much positive. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.